All right. Good morning, everyone. Tradingology.com's trading room for May 12th, 2020. We're opening up the doors. Make sure my speakers are on, as I like to forget from time to time. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning.
How are you doing this fine Tuesday?
I'm doing good, doing good. I am so happy that you survived your frozen weekend.
Yeah, we had a few nicknames for it, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, geez, they turned the water off on you?
Yeah, we got down below freezing actually Friday night. Into Saturday morning, it was like 28 degrees.
Man.
So yeah, the campsite shut her down. And
You
one
know,
of
I think spring did happen this year, right? I mean,
the
when was that supposed to be? Like March something?
Yeah, well, think about it this way. Guess what I heard in the news last night? We got a shot at like 80 on Monday.
Oh, wow.
So figure that out. Within 2 weeks, we go from freezing to 80 degrees. Welcome to Minnesota.
That's insane. Well, it's the same in New York, so don't blame Minnesota. It's the same here. We had snow when you were gone. I mean, I think I sent you the picture. There's like 2 days of snow there, and it stuck. It didn't go away right away.
Yeah, they were threatening that there, but we didn't see it where we were. So it was one of those, holy cow, we're going to have snow on Mother's Day.
Oh, okay, cool. Hey, I cut my hair this weekend. What do you think? Did I do a good job?
You got a new hobby there.
I don't know if you can see it.
At least you have some left to cut.
Yeah, I got a little bit left. Not much, but a little bit. Only in the front. The back is completely bald. I look like St. Francis Assisi or something. But yeah, so anyway, enough with our personal business. How is everybody? Andre, good morning. Kyle, good morning. JD, Ken, Isham.
Oh, I got to get my chat open.
Nothing but fun here. Nothing but fun.
Exactly. You got to keep it fun in these crazy times.
Oh yeah, and it's going to get nuts. It's going to get even worse. I think we just had a little bit of a, eye of the storm here.
Well, these are some of the biggest bars I've ever seen on the opening move for the internals.
Yeah, yesterday I posted a chart on the daily chart of the MYM. It looked like a head and shoulders pattern
I
right
can
at
see
the top.
that.
Yeah, I think that's,
Starting to build that in.
yeah, we're hitting those levels.
They're trying to defend a little bit here, but we're definitely in the soup, that's for sure.
Yeah. That started up really good. I was up like the positive side. Advances were up around 70 something at the beginning of the session.
Really high. We're up here close to 71, 72.
Yeah. Isham has a question. Dave, can you elaborate on the gold-silver ratio in the trading room today? I missed the previous explanation of what this ratio means and how it correlates to the direction of all futures and stock markets. It does not correlate at all to futures and stock market. It has nothing to do with that. If you got Mike Maloney on YouTube, which I highly recommend, yep, that's his site. In my trade a few weeks ago was shorting the gold silver ratio. So shorting the gold silver ratio is just like the volatility arbitrage trade. The first symbol, which is gold, you go short. Second symbol is for silver, you go long. And that's my trade. And I got in, I think it was up around 114, 112, something like that. Now it's 108 this morning. So it's like the volatility arbitrage trade. The only difference is I'm anticipating that gold silver ratio, if you take the price of gold, which currently is about $1,710 an ounce, and you divide it by the silver contract, which is $15.79, you get a ratio. And that ratio over 100 is oversold by a wide margin. In fact, I think Mike Maloney in one of his videos said it's the highest level, that 120 area is the highest level in 5,000 years. All the data that is possible to get on gold and silver. Being over 100 is also extremely rare. It's only happened 3 times in the last 100 years. And so it's very, very oversold at this point. And so I shorted it, which means I'm short gold, I'm long silver, and that's the play on that. Hopefully that helps. I'm waiting for it to come down. My target is like in the 50s, maybe. Yeah, in that range. That's my target for the ratio.
Which then leads into, if you're looking at owning any of the physical product, it's a better time to buy physical silver than it is to buy physical gold, because it's going to have a higher rise than gold will over the next short term. That's another way of using that ratio, is if you were a purchaser and a holder of the long stuff. That's one way that is used as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Because when the ratio is that high, silver is considered underpriced compared to gold, and so you can buy physical. You can do futures contracts and roll them over. That's a little bit more risk. Physical is probably preferred. ETFs, SLV, but again, you're going to have that risk of, you're going to have you can have risk built into the ETF if you buy SLV. A lot of people say that they don't have enough silver to actually back SLV, so you're going to get huge fluctuations. Andre says, how do you short the ratio? Is there a futures contract for that? Absolutely. There is I'm using they have micro E-minis for the silver contract and the gold contract. The micro E-mini for gold is MGC. And I gotta look up the silver one because I don't remember.
I can get my screens adjusted to show you at the same time.
Micro E-mini is, I guess I could just look at my platform, but I don't have it open right now. No, let me take a look. It's not SI, because SI is the large futures contract. The micro silver, not MGC is the gold. Darn it.
QI?
No, it's not QI.
What is that?
It's something odd. It's not. It doesn't.
I'm pulling up Globex to look because I haven't traded that myself.
Micro E-minis. Where is that symbol? I don't want to open up my platform because I got my laptop closed. Anybody know what that is? Throw it in the chat. I should find it on the CME, and I looked it up on the CME, and it took me to a MGC SIL. No, it's not SIL. MGC and SIL. Is it SIL? That's the one I had on my chart. No, it's SIL. SI is the full contract. SIL is the micro. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's not like M. Almost all of the micro E-mini contracts start with an M, but silver does not. It starts SI, and it's SIL is the micro E-mini contract. So I'm short the MGC and I'm long the SIL. To answer your question.
That looks like it's an ETF. Do I just kind of throw a slash in front of it?
You got to throw a slash in front of it. That's what I was trying to look.
So rare.
Yep.
Yeah, there we go. 1,000 ounce silver futures ETH.
Yeah, instead of 5,000 ounce for a regular contract, it's
1,000.
1,000.
So if I want to look at a chart quick, let me pull up. What's the micro gold?
MGC.
MGC. If we threw a ratio of 110 in there right now.
Yeah, just before the open it was 108. It fluctuates a little bit, but
okay.
That's about Sounds about right. I'm just going to hold on, roll over the contracts, and wait for it to decline probably about the 50 level, which means that either gold has to go down or silver has to go up, or they both go down, but gold goes down faster than silver, right? So it's just like the vol arbitrage. Or they both can go up. Silver would just go up faster. Dave, do not give the farm away here. I do not like giving farms away. Farms are valuable here. They're going to become even more valuable. Farmland actually is a great, if you guys have the resources and you're interested, there's a couple of really interesting plays on the inflation deflationary scenario. George Gammon did a video this morning or last night or whatever, and he mentioned farmland as a good hedge against whatever's coming our way. Anyway, any possibility to showcase the new PAP in action on futures? I know there's a case study on the MYM. You did part of the course. Yeah, sure. Well, I've got it on a chart here. I can share it with you, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
you got the ratio there.
Yeah, this is MGC minus SIL with a ratio of 108.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, it's not a 1-to-1. It's a little bit,
Just so I could look at it quicker if anybody was curious. I threw down a 5-minute that I'm just scrolling in time.
Yep. So 108 is the current ratio, which is about spot on. And it's been coming down. Yeah. It's 5-minute. Yeah, that's pretty short term.
Yeah, we'll throw it on a day.
4 hour.
Throw it over to you. There's the big rise up. Interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
All right, you got all right. I'll stop.
Yeah, it looked like it almost hit. Geez, almost hit 200 there. What is that? Or is that just the moving average?
Well, that's from if we're 0.108, and it reached that peak back in May or March. It looks like.
Okay.
So yeah, we can see how it's definitely
that's crazy.
Oversold or overbought, excuse me, and coming back down.
Yeah, the highest level in 5,000 years, and the only 3 times it's gone over 100. So you can use it in conjunction with other systems. It's just it's the way that it works though is absolutely amazing in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that's important that people understand. It's not just one thing that we're all trying to do, right? It's find the trading. I think without stealing anything that he did either. I'll share while we're talking here. Let me get this back up. Is find what's working for you.
Absolutely. Find what works for you. If you're a short-term trader, Dan's system is consistently profitable. I've been using it too, and I'm making money every single day on it when I trade it. I don't trade it every day, but when I do use it, it's been profitable. This is more of a swing day trading kind of thing, but a swing trading thing, and I've been killing it with it.
That's where the nice be able to have different instruments for different strategies, whatever it is. Find what works for you, whether you want to do full contracts in the short term to eliminate your risk and do micros in the long term or the swing, or vice versa. There's different ways you can use different contracts, or if you're even doing options on the swing trades where you're buying puts or calls. I would personally just stay with that side of it. There's other people that like to sell premium. I don't know if it would work as well leveraging the profit system or not. Is something we could research, but I would personally look at just buying a put or a call for being long or short on whatever instrument you're looking at, and that way you can still do other strategies.
I think that's a great idea. Yeah, absolutely. And here's a link if you want to go check it out, and that is Dan's affiliate link. So Dan will make a little commission on that if you go and use that and purchase. You can use this. No, Dan's got a coupon code for you though. Contact Dan.
Yep. If you're an elite member or you got all this stuff, let me know and I'll give you that coupon code. Save you some money.
Yeah. But that is, I don't know if you had you picked up your affiliate link, but that's your affiliate link.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I didn't even have it yet, so thank you.
You just copy and paste that.
Put in the everything you've ever seen. Just kidding.
Have you done analysis on XRP right now using the profit system? I will tell Scott to do one. I will. Good morning, General Family Dental.
I have a feeling that's Aaron.
Is it, or Keith? Yes, it's Keith.
Oh, we had 50-50 shot.
Andre, I will ask, in fact, I'll text him right now and ask him to do an XRP.
So does he? It sounds like he does a lot of Forex trading, right?
Yes, he does. He's a Forex guy mostly.
That's his main focus, at least.
Yeah.
That was one thing I was curious after checking it out, is if there's anything that it is honed towards versus or anything that it wouldn't work for any specific instruments. But it sounds like it's probably high level enough where you could at least apply it and look at a wide range of things.
Yeah, absolutely. I've tested it on crypto. I've tested it on, he's done tremendous amount of, I mean, he trades Forex primarily. He's also an XRP holder. He holds XRP. In fact, if you're in the Wealth Masterclass, there was a 1.5 hour audio with me and Scott talking about XRP, the fundamentals. That was basically fundamentals. Had nothing to do with technical analysis. But he's a Forex trader for sure.
Gotcha. Okay. I had a feeling since I saw the different pairs, but you never know. You can have anything on your screen at any time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, he really likes Forex.
Speaking of cryptos, I haven't looked recently. We had the big famous or infamous Bitcoin halving day yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
Doesn't look like it's not something that directly immediately impacts it either. It's over time. We've seen it definitely rise after that, so it'll be interesting to watch and see if all of cryptos rise from this or how long it takes.
I don't know either. It's, you know, it seems like after each halving, it looks like Bitcoin has gone up, but like the period of a week or two and a week two after the halving, it's not really done much. It kind of took time, I think, to sink into the marketplace.
And we see just a recent little rally here in Bitcoin itself.
Yeah.
Oh, I just shrank all my screens.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's just starting to pop a little bit, yeah.
Now we're starting to move, and H bar is on the move a little bit. It hardly ever draws bars. That's how little this one actually moves.
Yeah.
Except for there.
Yeah,
And XRP, that's about the same. Apparently I hit minimize everywhere, so I got to pull my screens back up. Everyone loves my background. There's Canada again, if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, you sent me that picture. That's awesome. That's an absolutely awesome picture.
There we go.
Well, more volatility, guys, in the market. The Fed announced this morning that they were going to start buying the corporate ETFs.
They did? I didn't see that yet.
Yeah, they like to tweak the market. They love, you know, coming out and saying things that, you know, pump up all the prices. They didn't actually do anything. They just say something and it pops
right.
up the price. And so we're getting a little reaction there.
I did see the one headline of the Fed stands behind the U.S. banking sector no matter what the virus demands. I have to read into more into that one. There was another interesting one I saw. I thought I had it on the browser here for us.
Elon Musk is threatening to move his California factory out.
Oh, I saw that, yep. And then he's working on the front line, elbow to elbow.
Yeah. Yeah, he has tantrums once in a while.
Right.
He's just like a really volatile guy. I can't imagine working with him. I really can't.
Here's another
I mean, he's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant, I'm sure, but
In for the ride for sure.
shoosh.
Well, what was the other thing with all the airlines having the troubles? I think I heard Virgin's got a 50 to 90% chance of not making it.
Yeah. You remember TWA,
Yep,
Pan Am?
exactly. Bring it
They're
back.
all gone. And that was in fairly decent times. I can't imagine I think we're going to go down to like just a few airlines in the US. I mean, I can't, there's so many planes. Ooh, that was a big drop in the
I was going to
RT.
say we're taking another dive right now.
Um, Warren Buffett was, for the first time I think I've ever heard him utter a negative word. And somebody asked him, when do you think we're going to come out of this, economic situation, virus thing, but mostly the economic situation? Are we going to go back to normal? He goes, shrugs. I'll see. We'll see. He didn't have any bright words at all.
Because he's probably thinking he won't see it. That's how long it'll probably take.
And the 137 billion he has in cash, he says is not enough to survive this. Yeah, that was pretty negative.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other one I saw with the stimulus is I hate Yahoo's site because they're just pumping it with ads, but the case for monthly bad thing stimulus checks, they keep talking about this monthly one and want to do this.
UBI.
Yeah. The economy won't be back to normal in the fall. So it's just more and more of that.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty insane, right? I think that I think this is going to last a lot longer than people think. Like I said, this little retraction, this little reversal in the stock market is a temporary eye of the storm.
And the wind's whipping.
Yeah. I mean, the Fed is powerful, right? But at some point, I think the market is probably bigger than the Fed.
Yeah, sooner or later, the overall market will win. It's just a matter of time and how long it takes.
Right.
The other part that I've recently seen a resurgence of is more talk of, like, we've had this discussion numerous times, especially being the world reserve currency still, is negative interest rates. I keep seeing more and more things surface for it. Even I think Danielle DiMartino was talking about it, and it's rare for her to say that one. So I'm curious.
Did I mention I think I did mention last week the Fed funds futures rate went negative.
That's about the same time that came out. Yes.
Yeah, pointing to that. So, I mean, that's good for the Fed, though. I mean, that's good for them because they're holding trillions of dollars in bonds, and those will rise in value. But if we go negative, I'm going to borrow $1 million.
That's the time to buy all that farmland.
That's right. I'm just going to borrow all this money, go out and buy the farmland, and hey, you want to come take it? Fine. You're paying me to hold it if rates go negative.
You'll just write off that debt like you do everybody else's. Did you hear the other recent one? There's always, it's so hard to keep up on everything, but this is the first time I've seen more real talk about this one. Is I think it was 1.5 or 1.3 trillion of student debt is potentially being wiped out.
What? What do you mean? Like defaults or being like just forgiven?
Yeah, forgiven.
Really?
Yeah.
That was a big bubble. I mean, student debt was huge. Auto loans too. I can't imagine them doing that with auto loans, but boy, that'd be great if they wiped out student debt. I still, I pay for the 3 my 4 kids' education in college, except for my last one, I took out a Parents Plus loan. So I still owe money on that. If they forgive that, I will be very, very happy.
Yeah, Congress passed 4 different packages to provide relief for blah, blah, blah. So here they're talking about minimum of 10,000 in student debt, at least 20,000, cancel 30, cancel the frontline workers, cancel the fraud in students. So yeah, this is only 17 hours old. This came out yesterday.
Wow. All right. Well, whoever that is, he's got my vote. But now if they can forgive my my mortgage in DC, that'd be nice too.
That's what, you joke about the kids. It's like, yeah, we paid for our daughters as well. It's like, man, I wish you would have run up the debt and they can just forgive it. I could have saved a boatload of money.
Yeah,
or currency, sorry.
Yeah, currency. Yeah. So I watched this really interesting video this morning from George Gammon, and he was talking about this guy, Cole from Artemis Capital. And he has a portfolio model called the Serpent and the Hawk.
I saw that last night.
Did you?
Yep.
Yeah, it was interesting. So again, and then what he did was he went into some specifics. One of the things that he recommended everybody do is get long volatility. Well, it's not so easy because you only have a few instruments to do that. You got the VXX, which is based on futures contracts, reset, negative carry, so you can't really hold it very long. The other thing he recommended was gold or Bitcoin, he says. Now, I've never heard him say that before, but he said either hold gold or Bitcoin. Farmland, which I mentioned. And what was the other one? Yeah. Farmland? Oh, commodities.
Yeah, I like the, what was that? SSM, super smart macro guy plan.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. I like commodities myself. I think it's more accessible for the average person.
And they're not going to zero out and reset like some of those crazy contracts. So that's the one thing you have to watch out for. If you're trying to go long volatility and you find something that moves great, do your research. Watch out.
Yeah, the only thing I would hesitate about is not getting into corn futures or anything like that, because about 50% of the corn production goes into ethanol. And if we're in an economic decline, we're not going to be using much ethanol. But I like wheat, probably soybeans, cattle. I might become. I used to trade. I used to trade commodities back in the day, back in the late '90s, or no, more like mid '90s, about mid '90s. Traded wheat, corn, lumber. I haven't done that in 20 years, 25 years now.
And that's a good one, especially if they have more of the micros coming out so you can hold it long-term with less risk.
Oh, that'd be nice. Boy, if they came out with micro E-minis on those, that'd be fantastic.
Right? Sooner or later, it'll get there.
Yeah.
Unless the risk isn't as high. I haven't looked at those in quite a while either.
The margins are low. I mean, they're like $400 for a wheat contract.
And heck, if you buy that farm, you might want the wheat delivered. Start using it for what they're actually made for. It'd be interesting, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's the weirdest thing about, all the entire market and all the different derivatives out there is, most of them are just used for being speculators for all these different, whether it's hedge funds or other people, but people forget, I think, that they're actually created for the industry that uses them. Hey, I need to buy this much gasoline. I'm going to buy these contracts, so I guarantee what my prices for my seed or everything like that. Or the farmer that needs to sell his corn, he can guarantee his sale price.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. Yeah, they use it as a hedge, lock in those prices.
Yeah. If they go gangbusters, then they lose a little bit on their contracts, but they sell out of the actual product, and so either way, they're protecting their business. Now they get everybody scared and they pump it back up.
Especially the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ has been absolutely on a tear. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, look at that turnaround. Look at where it bounced too. Imagine that.
Oh, you want to see a stock that was up 1,000%?
Oh, what do you got? What do you got?
ACB.
D is in Delta?
Now, A is in Apple,
Yep.
C is in Charlie, B is in boy.
B is in boy.
I think it's ACB.
Let me get my chart that doesn't agree with me. Oh, I just looked at the name of it as I typed it in. I was going to say, I know what it is. Don't do drugs. And it was a cannabis stock.
Yeah, so that's another thing, the cannabis stocks, yeah. I mean, in an economic decline, we talked about this, remember? We talked about alcohol, tobacco, and
Yep.
cannabis. And so what happened was their stock declined so far, it's not a rise in the stock. They reverse split it.
Oh, is that what they did on this one?
Yeah, it was trading below $1 a share or too long.
So in order to stay on the exchange, that's one of their.
Yep. So in order to stay on the exchange, they had to do a reverse split.
And a 4x, right? 4-time reverse. Probably or 8 if they went.
No, it's more like, yeah, it was pretty big because they were trading for 50 cents to get to $7. It was a 14-to-1 split, maybe. Yeah, 14-to-1. I guess they figure if they get it up to $7, at least they've got another $5 to drop or $6 to drop before they hit $1 again. But yeah, so you can't believe everything you see. You see this and it's like, oh wow, let's jump on this because it looks like it's up 1,000%. That's what somebody said on Twitter this morning, and I said no, that's a
look into it a little bit closer.
Yeah,
Aurora.
Somebody came in and said that, but
that must be a company out in Colorado because that's a suburb of Denver. That wouldn't surprise me if they're out there, since they were one of the first ones in the country to go legal.
Right.
They were the first one, weren't they?
Pretty much, yeah.
I think
they were.
Yep.
Oh, look at the YM making lows, and NQ has been really volatile. Holy cow. It's unbelievable.
And just a heads up, we've got about 10 minutes left at the most, 5 or 10. I'm not going to go to the top of the hour because I got another 10 o'clock meeting.
Yeah, we absolutely flipped on the advanced decline. We were positive this morning, and we just went negative. So
yeah, the volume's just hugging that zero line now. It's been below, it's been above, now it's back below.
Yeah, no trend.
Yep. This is one of the hardest days to try and get a directional trade for sure, unless you get a really short scalp.
Yeah, scalping is about all you can do on these days.
Yep. That's why you always look at what the market gives you for the opportunities and what do you have in your toolkit to use it.
So farmland, gold, and commodities. The 3 words of the day.
I actually started looking at different places in different states last night. Not for that, but just for, there's 3 states in this country where you don't have income tax. They're interesting to own land in as well. Then you can claim residency and live there and recoup some of your funds because you don't have to pay the state income tax.
Huh. Yeah.
And 2 of them are in warm climates.
Which one's that?
Florida, Texas, and South Dakota. So if you're looking at maybe investing in land, maybe you want to invest in one of those and establish residency so you save more of your hard-earned funds.
Well, Trump Florida.
What was that?
Trump moved his permanent residency to Florida.
Imagine that. I wonder why.
I wonder.
Go out and look up. There's South Dakota and Texas, Andre, are the other two. And just interesting how South Dakota is my neighbor, so I might have been looking at different areas just across the border. I could still stay close to family and keep all more of my funds.
Yeah, it's just like, it's kind of a little hop.
Exactly. A couple hours away by car. There's even a plane. I could be there in a half an hour on a little private jet. Or not a private jet, but a regional jet.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think I like Florida in the winter. Texas, I could live in Texas.
It's big enough you can get your own land and not have to worry about seeing anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some really nice areas in Texas.
And then just, go down there in the winter, come up north in the summer, enjoy all of it. And that might be what I'll do, So if we keep doing this, you might see Dan on the road.
Mm-hmm.
We're already planning for how I'm going to put my office in a mobile unit.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be the fun part.
Yeah,
The internet. That's the other thing is I have to look at. Where do I have good internet?
Yeah. Well, what options do you have in a motorhome?
Well, you can still do cellular networks, but you'd have to test it. That's why I would lean towards the swing trades at that time, where it doesn't matter if I'm in a few seconds here or there because you're holding it long term, whereas I wouldn't be doing scalping on a slower connection, obviously. But there you can say, all right, yeah, here we'll use the profit system and look for the right times. I think the biggest thing for people that are going to review that, and if you haven't done it, again, let us know, and we have coupons for our elite members and our members that have access to the systems, is finding the right time. It's not always, you're not forcing the trade. We've talked about this before. You wait for the setups to come to you, and then you take advantage of it. So this will show you the roadmap on when it's the best times, whether you're above or below those areas, and to take advantage of it properly. That's where I would, if I started doing things on the road, I would, okay, yeah, in 3 days it might be there, and then you take advantage when it gets there.
Right. Exactly. Yep. Let the trade come to you.
Yep. Don't force it. And if you haven't yet, study Wyckoff.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll start doing little mini videos and put those out for Wyckoff. I've been thinking about doing that for people because that guy was a genius.
He was an absolute genius. And a lot of what Richard and I put out, all the videos that I did on the membership site, Tradingology on the specialist system, Nye was a student of Wyckoff.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, there's books. We'll put together some resources for you, Andre, and let you know. Yeah. I don't have it at my fingertips right now to put it in the chat, but we'll have them for you.
All right, we are at that hour.
All right, gentlemen, and I put in you guys probably saw it in the note, but I won't be posting these in the member site because I'm working on those site upgrades and I don't want to duplicate efforts and it just gets a little hairy. So I'll just keep up the link for Thursday. But the majority of the recording you can look for it on the YouTube channel and library. If you haven't seen library yet, we're backing everything up out there. Blockchain technology can never be deleted or removed, so we won't be censored if people don't like us sharing ideas. So if you haven't seen us on library yet, check it out there too. So different places to get access. You're welcome, Misham. Happy to help.
Absolutely. Take care. Have a great couple days. We'll see you on Thursday.
Sounds good, Dave. Appreciate it.
All right. Have a good day, guys.